Macaroni and cheese. Everybody freeze. Good job. My name is Mrs. McDaniel, and we're going to be learning decimal, addition, and subtraction. First, we're going to go over a definition, and then we're going to go over the steps. I want you to go ahead and get out your math notebooks so that you can be copying down the definition and the steps so that they're right there with you whenever you're doing your practice problems so you don't forget. So first, what is a decimal? A decimal number is a number with a decimal in it. For example, 0.5. Now we're going to go over our steps that we're going to use when we're doing our decimal, addition, and subtraction. So step number 1 is line up your decimal points. Always line up your decimal points. Number 2, add or subtract. And number 3, don't forget to bring your decimal points straight into your answer. Straight down into your answer. So now that we went over the steps, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to get that copied down. And then once we've copied down our steps, we're going to go ahead and work our practice problems together. And then you're going to do some practicing on your own. Okay, now that you've had a chance to copy down the steps, we're going to move into our practice problems together. So our first problem is going to be addition. So we're going to write 0.8 plus 1.8. So we've made sure that our decimal points are lined up. Now we're going to do step 2, and we're going to go ahead and add. So 8 plus 8 is 16. We're going to carry the 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we're going to bring down our decimal point straight down into our answer. So the answer is 2.6. Our second practice problem is 1.5 plus 0.2. So we've made sure our decimal points are lined up. Now we're going to go ahead and add. 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 0 is 1. Now we're going to bring our decimal point straight down into our answer. So the answer is 1.7. Now we're going to do a subtraction practice problem. It is 7.0 minus 2.0. So we've made sure that our decimal points are lined up. And now we're going to subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. So the answer is 5.0. Now I'm going to write down your practice problems on the board. After I write down your practice problems and you write them down in your math notebooks, we're going to get into groups of 4. I'm going to give you about 10 to 15 minutes to work in your groups, and then we're going to go over the answers together. So our first practice problem is 8.0 minus 7.0. That's practice problem number 1. Number 2 is 1.2 plus 4.5. And our third practice problem is 3.0 plus 6.5. Okay, go ahead and get those copied down in your math notebook. And I'm going to give you 10 to 15 minutes to work in groups of 4 to get the answers to these problems, and then we'll go over them together. Okay, let's go over our practice practice problems. So we've made sure that our decimal points are lined up. We're going to go ahead and subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 7 is 1. So the answer is 1.0. And we put our decimal point in our answer. We're going to move on to the second problem. 2 plus 5 is 7. 1 plus 4 is 5. And we're going to go ahead and bring down our decimal point into our answer, and that gives us 5.7. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add. 0 plus 5 is 5. 3 plus 6 is 9. We're going to go ahead and bring down our decimal, and we have 9.5 for the answer. Does anyone have any questions, or do we need to go over anything, go over any of the steps? Next, I want you to stay in your groups. I'm going to pass out 2 worksheets, a subtraction and addition. We're going to work through 5 problems on each page and go over them in your group. I'm going to walk around and see if you have any questions, see how you're doing with the new concept, and then the rest of it will be for homework. So again, today we learned decimal, addition, and subtraction. You may go ahead and start working with your group.